Miss Aluko. Aluko, are you sure on what you're saying? You've been saying quite a lot lately that male pundits risk blocking the opportunities for women. Now, that could be right. That could be right. But then you had to bring in Ian Wright's name into it. Uncle Wrighty. What's he ever done to you? Oh, man. This is another hot topic. There's only one place we can talk about this right here on the Dash of Sports. Hi there, guys, and welcome to a Dash of Sports. I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and this is where I talk about all things sports-related, hot topics, and trending stories. And I've got a big story for you today. But before we get into all of that, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. You know all the things that you need to do. Press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my content. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Aluko puts out a bold statement in regards to saying that male pundits risk the opportunities, risk blocking the opportunities for female pundits out there. Now, when I first heard this story, I was thinking, all right, cool. She could have a point, but if she's making such a bold statement, there's got to be something behind it. But then I had to pump my brakes. I was like, all right. I'm hearing that she's directed it to Ian Wright. Ian Wright, Uncle Wrighty, the legend. So, former England striker Aluko said that Ian Wright and other male broadcasters and presenters risk blocking female pundits getting opportunities. Now, I find it hard to believe, but how I took it when I first heard it was just the fact that she was saying male pundits in general are blocking the opportunities. So I was like, okay, you're probably going to know more about this, whether it's behind the scenes or just point blank, overtly, you're seeing it. But as soon as she mentioned Ian Wright, I was like, oh, man, come on now, dog. Come on, man. Uncle Wrighty. Nah. You're saying that Ian Wright is responsible for blocking the opportunities for women to do punditry, basically, in the women's game. I'm really failing to believe that. In an interview with BBC Radio 4, Aluko said that Ian Wright needs to be aware of how much he works in the women's game, as there are only a small amount of opportunities for women. So once again, there needed to be more facts, figures in this. I'm a bit confused. I don't know where to take it when you're saying that someone like Ian Wright, who's a legend in the game, is contributing to blocking your opportunities. I don't know if she's mentioning that for her own, like she's saying it personally to her, like it's a statement that's based on her own personal experience, or she's just trying to generalize the fact that women in general, when it comes to women's football, are being blocked by men in regards to their opportunities. Someone, if you can let me know, man, comments in the comment section, let me know if this is true. If it is a case that she's speaking the truth and it's actually correct, then fair enough. Something needs to be done in it. But choose your battles. That's what I would say. Choose your battles. If you're saying it's Ian Wright, then you're gonna have to take a back seat, man. Let your opportunities blocked, and I mean that in the most wholesome way, because you need the characters like Ian Wright, legend, who's a big advocate for women's football. Let's not get it wrong. Let's not get it twisted. A big, massive advocate for women's football. Like, he champions women's football from the top of the roofs and mountains, if that's even a saying. Um, like I've always seen him associate himself with women's football, whether that's watching it, whether that's talking about it. He defends the game. He's one of the earliest people that I know that basically turned around and was really pushing for women to turn professional, you know. Um, watches a lot of, Arsenal women. His granddaughter, you know, he's always been talking about how he wants to see his granddaughter one day become, a footballer in women's football, and hoping that by the time she becomes a professional, that the game on and off the pitch is at it's levels, it's at a top standard. You know what I mean? Women getting paid, lots of money for playing football. Now, to turn around and saying that someone like Ian Wright is blocking your opportunities, ah, it's it's not really catching people right now. So I would love it to see or to hear maybe for her to, any Aluko to come out again and maybe explain herself. Maybe it was misinterpreted, maybe it's lost in translation somehow on what she said. But when I originally heard her saying about men obviously blocking their opportunities, I thought, okay, it's just a general thing. But to specifically say, oh, someone like Ian Wright is blocking your opportunities, whether it's your own personal experience or you're just saying in general that Ian Wright is blocking women's opportunities, then I can't really buy it. You need someone like Ian Wright that's going to shine a lot of light to the women's game. You know what I mean? He has the personality, he has the charisma, and he has the passion for it. He's not just on, your platforms, podcasts, broadcasting just for the sake of it. It doesn't come off that way at all. So I don't know. It's a huge statement to make, a very, very huge statement. So I would love for Eni Aluko to come out and maybe clear things up, say what she needs to say again. Maybe, like I said, lost in some type of translation. Although I know she'd be speaking English, but I don't know, man. But yeah, man, it's something that we have to think about. Like I said at the beginning, if it is a case that men are blocking women's opportunities, then yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. But if you're just saying specifically like the likes of your Ian Wrights and any other type of like real like proper legend that's really giving their time, giving their love and passion to the women's game to better it, to make it grow, you know what I mean? A load of male football watchers or watchers of male football might switch over, their eyes going across to watch the women's game based on someone like Ian Wright. What I would say, in my humble opinion, is learn from him. Learn from someone like Ian Wright. You want Ian Wright next to you. You want him to maybe not necessarily take lead or take front and center, but you definitely want to be side by side, learning from him. Charisma, charm, all of that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Obviously, you got to do things in your own vibe. Fair enough. You're not gonna. There's only one Ian Wright. But what you can do is learn a lot from someone like Ian Wright. You may even think that you're a better pundit than someone like Ian Wright, but you learn from him. You pick up from why he's so liked, why he's so loved. Obviously, a large part of that is because of what he done in the game. But we all know when it comes to Ian Wright, he's a massive character, and football is also entertainment. So Eni Aluko, if you feel that you are a better pundit or you deserve to be front and center, people don't just tune in for your expertise or what you're saying about the game, should I say. People tune in because they want to be entertained. They want to connect with the person that is, on the screen. And yeah, at this present moment, could you imagine if there was no Ian Wright? Wouldn't we even be talking about this now, would we? If you just mentioned it was just some next guy. but we're talking about this, or I'm talking about this because it's Ian Wright. But let me know, man. It's an interesting one. It's a very good hot topic, trending story. It's an interesting one, and only talk about it here on A Dash of Sports. But let me know, man. Put your comments down below and let me know if Aluko, if you feel that Aluko was either right or wrong with her statement. If she was right, then she was speaking her truth, in it. Let's talk about it. But if she's wrong, man, she has to yeah, man, put her tail between her legs and kind of just backtrack a little bit, or just come out and explain to us what she really meant about it. But it'll be very interesting to hear how this develops. But let me know, man. Put your comments down below and let me know. And until the next time here on A Dash of Sports, where we'll talk about all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. Peace.